Hello, everybody. I'm not sure what kind of crowd we're going to have today. Um, I, uh, I, you can see that by the title here is me talking about those last two Halloween sequels, the original sequels, H20 and Resurrection. But I've already said so much about those films with Dana, and then I did the stream last week with Foz and what Lumberjack, uh, talking about the first what was it, the first three sequels. First time I'd ever seen any of them, any of the sequels after two, except for Halloween 3, which I know doesn't count, but that's one of my all-time favorites. I may actually watch Halloween 3 tonight, but I know that doesn't count in the Michael Myers timeline. But I had never seen any of those sequels. I've been actively avoiding them for all these years, and finally watched them. And but anyway, I did a stream with Dana, and I kind of talked at length about what I felt about the last two, H2O oh God, Resurrection. Oh my God. But I'll still talk about them if any of you guys want to. Or we can talk about Halloween, which is tomorrow, and what you guys are doing and what you guys are watching. But it'd be nice if someone could join me on here. I think Wes sent some links to some folks here to actually join me on the stream here. But anyone out that's watching now would like to join me, let me know. And I, I can. I guess I could put the link up. I don't know. Is Wes watching? Are you watching this now, Wes? Maybe I shouldn't put the link up here because Dana had a bad experience doing that. uh, Putting the link up, for just everyone to see. But but I would like someone to join me on here, or more than one person, if you would be up for it. Let's just talk about Halloween. We can talk about Halloween movies, or we can talk about Halloween, the season, which is tomorrow. uh, Here in Texas, and that's why I'm wearing what Bob and Doug McKenzie called this a toque. I'm wearing my toque today because it's cold, it's drizzly, it's nasty outside. We're in the 40s, I think. Um, and Halloween's supposed to be a little bit better. I think the sun is finally supposed to start coming out tomorrow. And so the kids that are going trick or treating or need to put on a coat over their costumes, but it'll be in the 50s, I think, low 50s, and then slowly warm up. I think we're supposed to be in the 70s in a few days, lower 70s. So we're having a little cold snap, which is not unusual for Texas to have a cold snap around Halloween time. And you never know about Texas, what kind of winter we're going to have. Sometimes it's a mild winter. It might be January and it'll still be in the 70s. You know, I've I have spent Thanksgiving outdoors on a picnic table with my family, my parents and my sister, and we ate Thanksgiving outside on a picnic table because it was like 75 degrees or something on Thanksgiving Day. So, um, hi, hey, Alana. I'm real nearsighted, so I have to get right up to the screen to see what you guys are saying. Alana Hamilton, hi, Jay. Hi, Alana. Um, and Jake, the horror host movie geek, says he's down to join. Let's see. Is there any way uh, that I can just send him the link? But I don't know how to do that. Wes, are you watching this? The subjective perspective says Shreveport, Louisiana here, Jay, about 3 hours from Dallas, 45 minutes from Texarkana. Hey. Uh, I've been to Texarkana. Let's see. Back for Blood says, be sure to see Garth Brooks yell, slap nuts and smash a guitar over Michael Myers' head in Resurrection. Actually, that would be an improvement. Jake is on Patreon. I think it's linked on the front page. I don't know what you mean there, Wes. Patreon. Yeah, I don't know. Can you send him the link? Yeah, can you? The horror movie geek, Jake, the horror movie geek. Wes, can you do that? Can you send Jake the link? Because I do not know how to do that, and I don't know what you mean that it's on Patreon. I know I sound like a complete idiot. It's because I am a complete idiot about Patreon and I've been on the internet for over 20 years and I'm still like, it's like the first time I've joined it because I'm just a complete idiot. Um, so if Wes, if you're watching and you can send Jake the link or anyone else the link that would like to join me on here, would you do that for me, please, sir? I actually sent a link to the girl that plays Crystal in my latest movie, Crystal, but I think she's working. She works at Starbucks. And she moved to East Texas. She was living in Mahia when we filmed the movie, but she's moved to East Texas. But she's still working at Starbucks. She was working at Starbucks in Mahia, and then she's working Tyler, I think, something like that. I forget what the name of the town is, but anyway. And that's where my parents grew up, East Texas. But anyway, she's living in East Texas now and still working at Starbucks. So she may be working right now. But anyway, I sent her the link if she wanted to join. The link, the join link is on Patreon. He should be able to click on it and join in pound. So Jake, Wes says that's how you can join. Go to, I don't know what he means. Patreon. You can join on Patreon. But anyway, let me check something here. I don't know if I'm going to be leaving you guys, but I want to check something. Let's see. Okay, Jake, see if I've sent you the link there on Facebook Messenger. I tried to. Let's see if you've got it. If you would check and see on Messenger if I've sent you the link to join me on here. It's Jake the Horror Movie Geek, but I've got Jake T. Patton is who I've sent it to. So is that you, Jake, the Horror Movie Geek? But anyway, I've sent it on Facebook Messenger. So if you wanted to check there. But anyway, let's see. Subjective perspective, trick or treat, mother effers. Yes, trick or treat. And that was, for me as a kid, Halloween and Christmas were the two big holidays as a kid. I guess for most kids, those were the two big holidays, Christmas and Halloween. And yeah. And I always wanted to be something, a monster of some kind. It was usually a vampire because that was the easiest for my mother to to fix for me as a vampire. You get those cheap fangs, those cheap plastic fangs, you get for like 50 cents. And she'd get lipstick, red lipstick, and put fake blood coming down the side of my mouth. And so I was Dracula in big thick glasses, and so or vampire. So yeah, but I always wanted to do something scary. I wasn't the type like kids now that would dress up like, Darth Vader or whatever. That just seems to be against Halloween to just dress up as a cartoon character or something like that. You dress up as something scary, a ghost, Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, werewolf, whatever. And X-Ray Punch says, Yo, Jay, where do meditation balls at? It ain't a proper jacking session without the balls. Well, all right. Okay. I'll get them out. Okay. There they are. Here are the meditation balls. They got a yin and yang on them. And here they are. Jake, did you get that link that I sent you? Yeah, I want some folks to join me on here. I want to have a conversation with you guys about Halloween. Like I said, we can talk about the movies, but I've really covered that subject, what I think about the Halloween sequels, but we can certainly talk about those if you wanted to. And I think maybe someone is trying to join me here. Maybe. There's Jake Patton, but it says device is not connected. So, Jake, I don't know what you're doing, what you need to do. Go to enter the studio or whatever. Hang on. Hang on, guys. It's just chaos here. Okay. Okay. Well, Jake, I'm seeing your name there, but it says device is not connected. So I don't know what it is you need to do. But I'm seeing your name here, but it says device is not connected. They will need to connect their mic cam before you can add them. So you need to do that. Whatever it says there, you need to connect your microphone and your camera. I don't know what you need to do that, but Jake, that's what it's saying. So there's something you need to do on your end to join me here. Connect your mic and camera, and maybe there's something there that shows you or tells you what to do or what to click on. But yeah, I'm seeing your name there, but it's saying that you're not connected. So I don't know. I wish I could tell you what you need to do, but I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. Ice Ice Buoy says, Boogaloo, fuckos. How's the day? Well, like I say, here it's cold and it's drizzly and it's nasty. But it's supposed to get a little better in the next few days. But yeah, we got this cold front come in and it's been nasty. Subjective perspective, collective ends is the worst, then resurrection, then the hollow zombie Weinstein shit shows. Yeah, I still haven't seen Kills and Ends, and I may watch those in the next few days. Those are the next two or next sequels I need to see, and I'll probably go back and watch the 2018 one again too, because it's been, when it came out is when I watched it. It came out on Blu-ray. And okay, there maybe Jake can join me now. Let's click. There you go. Now I'm seeing
it's finally working. Oh god. No, I'm trying to figure this out.
Bring it up a little bit. I've got there you go.
Oh man.
There you go. And cops do it by the book. Are you a cop, Jake? Are you a police officer?
No.
Sir?
On the search from Halloween 4, actually.
Oh, okay, that's right. I had forgotten about that. Yeah. Okay. And of the sequels, because I have spoken at length that how I've been avoiding the Halloween sequels all these years because I love the original Halloween and I love the way that movie ends. And so I just never really cared to see Michael Myers returning and killing. That was just me. And so all the years I would watch the trailers and stuff, but I was disinterested. So I'm just now watching the sequels. And of the sequels, I was entertained here and there on a certain level, but I think 6 is my favorite. And there's some people that just absolutely despise 6. The thorn curse business and all that. But I like that they just went nuts with it. And so I was entertained by the whole thorn curse bit, but I can understand the people that grew up watching the series and stuff like that. But here I am, nearly 60 years old, and I'm watching them for the first time. So I have a different perspective than a lot of people for these sequels, But how about yourself, Jake? What would be of the sequels? What is your favorite?
Oh, geez. I love the thorn.
Sir?
Trilogy. Stupid.
Oh, okay.
This thing is I don't know.
Uh,
Can you hear me?
you like what they did with the Thorn Curse and the Thorn trilogy. The was it the character of Jamie, which is it was supposed to be Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter, Laurie Strode's daughter, and Jamie Lee Curtis in this timeline is supposed to be dead. She died in a car wreck. So you've got Jamie as her daughter that's being pursued by Michael in these first three films, first three sequels, 4, 5, and 6, um, and uh, uh, and then we get really heavily into part 6, the Thorn. What was why he's pursuing her and why he's so evil and just pursuing his family and wants to kill off his family is the Thorn Curse, that's has inhabited his body and soul and is pushing him to kill. Um, and yeah, yeah, I did too. I like that. I like that aspect of it. I think Wes says that 6 was actually his favorite of the sequels too.
Right on.
But there's folks that just hate that. And then when we continue with H20, well, it reboots everything. Well, now Laurie Strode is alive. She faked her death, and Jamie no longer exists. Is the daughter Jamie? No, she's not mentioned. She doesn't exist in this timeline. And now Laurie Strode is alive, and I don't know. I just like I say, as someone that's been sort of avoiding the sequels all these years, and actually finally watching them, I was entertained at different points, but at sometimes I'm like, I just don't know. They rebooting the series like they did, and of course, Resurrection is just absolutely god awful. Because at the end of H2O, she decapitates Michael Myers, and then we find out in Resurrection she decapitated the wrong person, and uh, and I would have walked out of the theater once I saw that part of it. I would have said, no, not doing this. Yeah, and then bringing in Busta Rhymes and all that, and just yeah. But anyway, Jake, just overall, you're a fan. Obviously, with your shirt, you're a fan of the sequels, the Halloween series, so to speak.
Yeah. Also, still,
Oh God! Well, see now, I don't have a 4K player, but I said to Dana, if I ever get a 4K player, the two that I would want on 4K, the Halloween films, would be the original and 3. I love 3. Um, and I love the direction that Carpenter, yeah, I wanted the direction that Carpenter wanted to go, which is to tell a different story with every Halloween film. Um, it didn't make the money that they wanted to make. So, of course, they went back to having Michael Myers coming back. But I love that idea to have a Halloween film, but to have it be a different story every time. And 3, oh gosh, I love 3. And that is for Halloween. That's one of the films I always have on the list to watch is Halloween 3. But yeah, I love the hat. I want to get one of those hats.
Oh.
Where did you get that?
I got it at Motor City Nightmares, which is a horror con I go to every year in Novi, Michigan.
Oh, okay. It's been so long since I've been to a convention. I used to go to the Texas Frightmare Weekend, back when I was promoting my first movie, Dawn, and they would give me a table, and then I started doing stuff for Dead Pit, interviewing the guests and things like that, and they would give me a table, and I would do stuff for Dead Pit, but it's been so long since I've been to a convention, and it's just the prices have gotten so outrageous now, for if you want to get an autograph or a picture with any of the guests, it's just crazy now. But I always had a lot of fun at those shows back then because you could just walk around to the different guests and just chat with them, you know.
Right.
And you can't do that now. I mean, they drag you to the ground, they wrestle you to the ground. You're gonna try to just walk up to someone, start talking to them,
Yeah.
and and also having a table at the convention. You know, when they would close up for the public, there would be like an hour or so where the guests would be, you know, packing their stuff up for the day and stuff like that. And I'd go and visit with them. So, you know, uh, I had some good times doing that, you know. Um, would go up to Roddy Piper and just shoot the shit with Roddy Piper and just talk to him, you know. Um, and, you know, or Anthony Michael Hall and, you know, and Ernest Borgnine and stuff. Just go and just talk to him, you know.
Nice.
Um, and so I treasure those memories I had where I could just go and just visit with them, you know, and not feel obligated to buy an autograph or get a picture with them. There's times that I would do that, but to just be able to go and just visit with them, you know. Um, so, uh, but what's the last convention that you have gone to, Jay?
Motor City Nightmares in July, actually, this past July.
Yeah. What kind of like did you get autographs? Did you get some pictures with some folks? I mean, what did you know?
Oh yeah, I got a ton of pictures and uh, 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 autographs. Excuse me. I'm not sure if you heard any of that. But
Uh-huh.
okay, good.
But who? I mean, name some names of people you got
Oh,
pictures
okay.
with, autographs
Yeah,
you got.
I got John Russo, Jonathan Breck, who played the Creeper. I got it was just in July, and I'm having trouble thinking of. Oh, Kane Hodder.
Oh, did Kane choke you?
No, the first time I met him, he did, but I don't think he can do that anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. So he did that. That they've stopped him from choking folks, huh?
Yeah.
uh, yeah, because I met him. I didn't get choked by him, but I was a friend of mine was with me, and he got choked by him, and I took the picture that he had with Kane. But that's something, you know, throughout the whole convention, you'd watch, and everyone got choked by Kane, you know, except for maybe the girls, maybe not. Not he wouldn't choke the kid. Sometimes he would have choked a kid, you know, but just you know, that was the thing with Kane Hodder. You got choked, and but yeah. Um, I I'd like to go back and just go to a convention and mainly just go into the different the people that have, you know, have tables there. Maybe they're selling t-shirts and whatever, you know, and just be able to just to see the guests that are there, you know. But like I say, now it's just gotten so crazy, and the attendance has gotten so much higher now. Uh, Lines are getting so long at these, you know, conventions to see whoever, you know, that
Oh,
it just seems like the fun is gone. What I would consider fun at these conventions, it's where you could just sort of stroll around and talk to the guests and just, you know, visit with folks. It seems so much be like you're herded like cattle now. It just seems like, and so I don't know. It's just the fun of it is just kind of gone for me for these conventions, you know,
yeah.
because it's got to be such a big money making thing now, you know. But yeah, let's see. People, let's see. Fazmat says Ernest Borgnine. I love Marty, and that's the picture I got signed by Ernest Borgnine is him with his Oscar for Marty. Uh, so yeah, and I got a picture with him. Let's see. Subjective perspective said Halloween water. 20 years later, yeah, Halloween H2O water. Um, and And let's see, Back from Blood said, I was disappointed to find out that they actually never planned for the ending of H2O to actually be what it appeared. Well, she decapitates him. She cuts his head off at the end of H2O. I actually watched that last night with Dana and the watch along she did for H2O. And that should have been the way the whole thing ended. The whole Halloween series should have ended with H2O, with her finally killing Michael Myers. But of course, they're going to want to make that money. So, and what they did for Resurrection was just absolutely awful.
It was.
Yeah, yeah. I would have been like, say, if I was a fan of the series, like a lot of you guys are, that has sort of grown up with this series and such, I would have walked out of the theater. When they say, "Oh no, it wasn't actually Michael Myers. It was he had switched the bodies. It was the guy in the, in the whatever, the ambulance, driver or whatever." Is, "Oh well, no, the hell with you. I'm getting out of here." Yeah, I wouldn't have stood up for that. Let's see. Johnny Darko says he's going to be watching H2O tonight. Actually, a great movie. It was my first Halloween film I ever saw. I like H2O. I don't love it. I like it. I think it's okay. Actually, like I say, 6 is actually my favorite of all the sequels, the original sequels, not the David Gordon Green stuff, but the original sequels. 6 is actually my favorite. I think CK said 6 is his favorite. And subjective perspective, speaking of 6, 6 has that badass hospital strobe Michael going full Jason scene. Love that shit. Yeah, yeah. And let's see. And Uncle Rico, yes, we are jacking it Jay today. Yep, that's what we're doing. I'm here with Jake. So what are your plans, Jake, for Halloween? What are your watch plans, film wise?
Oh, geez. Probably Halloween, Trick or Treat, and maybe Pumpkinhead. Or Halloween 3. I'm not sure.
Pumpkinhead would be a good one. Yeah, Pumpkinhead's such a fun movie, and that creature design is so cool for Pumpkinhead. That would be a good choice. I think I've been sort of avoiding the really serious, sort of really dark and really scary stuff. Been watching stuff I call more fun movies. The I don't know, just what I consider. They may have a lot of gore in them, but they're also kind of fun. Motel Hell.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of thing. That I may actually watch something a little more serious, like The Exorcist or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Watch something a little more, and then watch something fun. Watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then watch, Halloween 3 or something like that. Get serious and dark, and then have fun. And get different perspectives. But I haven't decided. What I almost want to do is I want to watch something familiar, but then maybe watch something that I haven't seen before or haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So that might be what I do for Halloween. Hardly ever get any trick or treaters out here, and if I do, what they're going to get is Pop-Tarts, because that's about the only thing I've got. I don't have any candy, so
Hey,
they'll get Pop-Tarts. And got my balls. Someone brought. I had to get my balls, but I'm a cheap ass, and so what I get is the store brands of different sodas, popular sodas. So instead of Mountain Dew, I get the store brand from a local store called H-E-B, and it's called Citrus Rush.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
And it's their version of Mountain Dew. So anyway, yeah, Citrus Rush.
Hey, pop is getting expensive as hell. Walmart wants $5 and something cents for a 6-pack of dry Pepsi. So that's crazy.
And I've seen it higher than that. I've seen them go to like $6 or more for like a name brand, for like Pepsi or something like that. And they also have the store brand of Dr. Pepper from H-E-B, but it's Dr. B. Uh, so Dr. B. And I know Walmart has it. I keep forgetting what their version is. It's a doctor, but I forget what. um,
I think it's Dr. Thunder.
Dr.
Maybe.
Thunder, yeah, that's it. Dr. Thunder, Walmart's version. I'll get Dr. Thunder sometimes. Um, and if they put it on sale, I'll get a name brand. I'll get Dr. Pepper, or I'll get Mountain Dew. I had some Mountain Dew. I drank the last of my Mountain Dew yesterday, but they had Mountain Dew on sale for like $3.50 or something like that for a 12-pack. So I got some Mountain Dew. But and then I get these coffee pods. I've got a Keurig, and there's a on Amazon. Oh wait, I got someone else. Who wants to join me here. SPC. There's
What's going
Hey,
on,
sir.
man?
Oh wait, I got someone else. Hey.
Howdy.
How y'all doing?
Well, we're just kind of talking about Halloween, talking about what we'll be watching on Halloween Day.
Yeah, I've been in the chat.
And so how about yourself? What is your plans for Halloween?
Not a whole lot. I'm just kind of kick back,
Any particular movies that you have in mind that you're going to watch?
I always like to watch something different, like switch it up, but if you haven't seen all the sequels to Halloween?
I've seen them all the original sequels. I've seen them all. Finally saw them all. Yeah, right. I've finally seen it. I've got 2 of the Gordon Green films to see. I need to see Kills and Ends, and then I'll be completely done with all the Halloween films.
I'm in the minority, but I actually love Halloween Kills, man.
And I've heard people say they like Kills, and I've heard people say they like Ends. And
fuck Ends though. Ends.
Yeah, most people just hate Ends. And I'm anxious to see it, to see what people are hating on so much.
Yeah,
but come on, Kills has got Anthony Michael Hall. How can you hate Anthony Michael Hall? Come on.
Oh man, it's I mean, don't get me wrong with Kills, man. It's not the characters for me. It's Michael going batshit crazy. I call it it's called Michael's masterpiece. Jamie Lee Curtis says that at one point in the movie, and it's basically Michael's film. It's all about Michael in that one. So
as it should be.
And like I say, I've got it. For a lot of you guys, I'm coming from a different perspective, because I have been avoiding the sequels for all these years, and just now finally watching them.
Yeah.
So for a lot of you guys, you kind of were growing up watching the Halloween films, the Halloween series.
I actually saw them in order. So I saw 78 first. That was the first one I saw. And
me too.
And then 81, Halloween 2, which Halloween 2 is my favorite though.
And it's been so long since I've watched Halloween 2, and I tell you, the version I have of Halloween 2, remember those old Snapcase DVDs?
Yeah.
Those Snapcase things. That's the only version of Halloween 2 I've got, is that old Snapcase, and where it's got the full screen version and the widescreen version.
Right.
So you have to choose which version you want to watch. But it's been forever since I've seen Halloween 2. And that's one I need to revisit. That's one I need to put on the docket to watch Halloween 2, and then watch Kills and Ends.
Right. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if none of the other films were made, just Halloween 1 and 2, and just let it end at 2.
Well, and that was my feeling. Way back when I first watched Halloween 2, and it was back in the VHS days when I watched Halloween 2. And, it's like, well, they kill off Michael, they kill off Dr. Loomis, and okay, that's a way to end this.
Right.
I'm good with this. But then, of course, anything that's popular, they're going to try to make money off of it. And so they keep bringing him back. But I
remember when 3 come out, and I was like expecting Michael. So I was so pissed off.
And,
And,
I wasn't though. I
Okay.
wasn't pissed off. I
it
was
took
like,
many years to fall in love with 3.
I-
In here.
Go ahead, Jake. Was you going to say something?
Oh, just same here. I,
Right.
I hated it first, but now I love it. But sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you good? You good? Yeah, just and the same thing happened. It's not nothing to do with Halloween, but it's same thing with part 5. I was expecting, I didn't expect that shit at the end of part 5, so I hated that damn movie for a minute, and then later on, it's just funny how it works like that sometimes.
Well, and that was me is watching these films for the first time.
Yeah.
I got to be sort of like, just seeing Michael just return and kill got
Right.
kind of dull for me. So that when, particularly at the end of 5 and all of 6, where they just kind of go batshit nuts with it.
Yeah, he basically turns into Jason.
Yeah, and with the thorn curse, I loved that. I said, okay, that's if you're going to do this, go nuts with it.
Right.
And Dr. Loomis goes nuts. He's just about as crazy as Michael by that point.
Yeah, he makes it great though.
But
Funny
yeah,
to
I
watch.
love it. I love Donald Pleasence in those films, and I love that he just gets steadily crazier as the films progress. He gets,
Right.
you have characters that are just as scared of Dr. Loomis as they are Michael.
Right.
And I love that. I love, the Donald Pleasance performance in those films, and the way he gets steadily, just loses his mind.
Right. Yeah, you see Donald Pleasance in so many damn movies, like in these B movies, like, especially like a lot of the Italian horror. It just trips me out every time I'll see him pop up. I'm like, damn, he's in another damn movie.
Oh yeah, he did a ton of stuff, and of course, the
Yeah.
Halloween films are always going to be his sort of legacy,
Yeah.
But yeah, he did a whole bunch of stuff, and of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, did. I talked with Dana about how me being a young teenager and first seeing Trading Places and seeing Jamie Lee Curtis expose her breasts, and I'm like, oh my gosh, being a teenager and with growing hormones, and like, oh my goodness,
Well, that's one I'm going to watch soon that I didn't bring up. Road Games.
Yeah.
With Jamie Lee Curtis. So
yeah, and of course the Fog. They're with her mother, Janet Leigh, where she's in H20 with her mother, Janet Leigh. Of course, the Psycho, the woman that gets stabbed in the shower, Janet Leigh.
Oh yeah,
and that's her mother. But yeah, she's with her in H20, and she's with her in the Fog.
Right.
Yeah, sharing the screen. I don't know how many scenes they have together, but they have a few scenes together in H20. But
right.
But yeah, it's cool to see those.
So what did you think about H20 though, Jake?
I liked it.
Okay.
I didn't love it. There's some people that really like H20. I thought it was okay. It bothered me that they're rebooting things. It's okay that Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back, where she's like what she says, she faked her death. But I didn't like that they did away with the Jamie character, her daughter. I think they should have at least mentioned her, because by this time Michael's killed her,
Yeah, and you watched the theatrical cut of part 6. Right?
Of all the films, I watched the theatrical cut.
Okay, because that director's cut, it'll piss you off. It's got Michael being a damn incestuous.
Well, yeah, and what is it?
He screwed his niece, and they had a baby.
And was he supposed to have actually had sex with her, or did they do some sort of artificial insemination thing?
Yeah, don't never say, but it's I don't know.
And the character's supposed to be like 15, which just makes it doubly creepy, And
right.
Yeah.
It's cringy as hell either way.
And would you consider that inbreeding? Doing it with cousins?
Yeah, inbred.
And some of those inbred children don't turn out too well. So,
Right.
And so, and what was the kid's name? The baby's name?
Stephen.
Stephen. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, like I say, probably 6 is the one I had the most fun with of all those sequels, those original sequels. But I liked H2O.
Yeah.
And like I say, I just wish. Okay, it's okay that they bring Jamie Lee Curtis back, Laurie Strode back, and say she faked her death, which I don't know how she was able to do that, but it don't really explain how she faked her death, but just
Yeah.
but I wish they would have at least mentioned the Jamie character, that she did exist, and that she was killed by Michael, and at least, kept the
thing with
timeline.
H2O though, I really don't like the way Michael looks in that damn movie. Like the eyes are too big. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
eyeballs are too big.
Dana spoke about that last night.
Yeah.
We did the watch along last night for H2O, and she
Right.
talked about the mask and said that Steve
There's-
had said he looks shocked. The face looks like he's continually shocked.
Yeah.
In
There's so many
H2O.
different masks they use too.
Yeah.
In that one.
And that's another
Southern
thing.
mask.
I can
Yeah.
understand, Jason's mask is going to change and mutate and get decay and whatever, but Michael's mask, why didn't they just keep the original, Captain Kirk mask?
Exactly.
And
I don't understand why that happened, but
yeah, why change that?
yeah, because in 1 and 2 it's the same. It's just in 2 it's so nasty because of Deborah Hill smoked all the time, and it was under her bed. So
well, just repaint it,
yeah, but I like the way it looks. Like
Yeah.
on and then it's got the Warlock stretch from Dick Warlock's head.
Yeah.
So I prefer Dick Warlock. That's my favorite Michael.
Yeah.
But yours is probably Nick Castle, though. I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, it's like in the first movie, it was mostly Nick Castle.
Yeah.
And what's his name? What's his name shows his face that one time.
Oh, yeah. Nick. I mean,
Tony Moran.
Tony Moran. Yeah. Well, now I had mentioned that when I did my first convention, Texas Frightmare Weekend, and I was promoting Dawn, they put my table next to Tony Moran, and so I spent the weekend just visiting with Tony Moran, and
Okay.
he hardly had anyone at his table. Every now and then he'd have someone at his table.
Yeah, I go to Texas Frightmare every year, man.
Yeah. But yeah, Tony Moran. Tony Moran was my neighbor at that first convention. And he was a nice enough guy, I guess. I visited with him. But that's the only time you see him is when he takes that mask off, that brief moment. That's his legacy, is that little few seconds on the screen.
2 seconds of fame, huh?
Yeah. But it's usually, wasn't it? Nick Castle was usually Michael in the first film, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he's great, but I don't know. So, and a lot of people complain about Dick Warlock and saying that he looks too robotic, like a robot.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't know. There's something about Halloween 2, man. Like when I was a kid, I guess maybe it hit a little harder,
Well, like I say, that's one I definitely need to watch again. It's been so long since I've seen part 2. But you would think, being that sort of robotic sort of way, well, that's kind of Michael. He's just sort of like, he's just evil. He's out to just kill. There's no real
human
element.
element.
He's not human. Yeah, he's not supposed to be human. That's something that Dr. Loomis keeps saying. He's not human. He's not a person. He's just evil. He's the personification of evil.
Right.
And so you would think he would be sort of robotic, just, no feelings, no emotion. And of course, when you see the kid in the first movie, he's got a completely blank look on his face when he's holding that bloody knife, and they takes that mask off, and it's just, there's no look of any kind of humanity on his face. It's completely blank,
Yeah. And it's never explained, that's what makes it great.
Yeah. Until the thorn curse bit comes up.
Yeah.
Until we get some kind of, well, okay, why is it he's hunting down his family so badly? Well, it's the thorn curse. It's
one thing I'll say about Halloween 2, though, is Jamie Lee Curtis is just pretty non-existent in that movie for the most part. She's in the damn bed for most of the damn movie, you know.
Yeah.
But if you want to get into how H2O and Resurrection, I didn't know, but what'd you think about Resurrection?
What did I think about Resurrection?
Yeah.
I thought it was god awful.
Yeah. It's the
just
worst.
pretty
I
much-
mean, Ends is the worst, but Resurrection's next.
Yeah,
worst.
but like I say, I found some people that like Ends, so I'm anxious to see Ends and see. But yeah, Resurrection. Like I say, I would have been as a fan for you folks that are real big fans of the series. The moment we learned that Laurie Strode killed she beheaded the wrong man. She didn't behead.
Yeah.
That would have sent me out of the theater right there. I would have left the theater and not even watched the rest of the movie after that point. I said,
Yeah,
well, no,
Michael crushed his larynx and
larynx and because you think when you look at H2O and she's got and she hijacks the ambulance, you know, to take him off and kill him, and he's coming out of that body bag and such. Well, you think, well, now if this is supposed to be the limo driver, the ambulance driver, you think the first thing he would do is take that fucking mask off. You know, it's like, what's this doing in my face? You know,
yeah.
Even if he couldn't talk, you think he would at least done that. He would have ripped that mask off, you know, and it's kind of like, well, because that was Michael. That was not the ambulance driver. That was Michael in H2O. In H2O, that's Michael. And Laurie Strode cuts Michael's head off at the end of H2O. That's Michael. That's just some bullshit to try to continue the series and bring Michael back. They just brought up this, well, no, she killed the wrong person, you know. You know, and where did he get his new mask? He's wearing a new mask. You know, I guess he just went into a Halloween shop because the costume was supposed to be popular during that time. But oh God, yeah, I just from beginning to end, I just absolutely hated Resurrection. And just the whole business about, you know, there's kind of, we're entering the internet age now, and they're doing this live stream, you know, inside the old house. And
Busta Rhymes.
And Busta Rhymes, you know, happy Halloween, motherfucker.
Yeah. Take him in the head and knock him out the window.
Oh,
like, come on, man. Like,
it's just awful. And what I'm going to do is just forget Resurrection exists, and Halloween, the end of H2O is the.
Well, if you like the way they did Michael in Resurrection, well, get ready for Ends because they make him look like a bitch. He looks like a bitch, the worst of any damn Halloween film.
Well, like I say, I've actually have seen a few people that have done videos where they actually talk how they like Ends,
yeah,
and go through the steps of what they like about it, you know.
Right.
And I've met a few people on the streams here that say they like Ends, but most of them to say that it's just completely awful, you know.
Are you going to see the Believer, Exorcist?
When it's streaming and I don't have to pay for it, when it's streaming on one of, like, you know, I don't know, Netflix or the Amazon channel or, you know, Hulu or something like that, I'll watch it then. That's another movie. The Exorcist is one of my all-time favorite movies, period. Not just as a horror film, but just as a film, period. It's just so well made and so well directed and acted, and just everything about it is just top-notch. William Friedkin's directing in that is just one of the best. And he directed it pretty much like a documentary, like it's really happening. Everything is really happening. And it feels real, you know, even though you're dealing with a possession and you're dealing with some supernatural things, it feels like this is how people would react to something like this. How they would really react, you know.
Right.
So, and then and like I say, I really like Exorcist 3. And of course, it's William Peter Blatty, you know, directing based on his Legion book. It really wasn't going to be an Exorcist movie, but they wanted some Exorcists, you know, so they
he didn't want it to be called Exorcist 3. He wanted it to be called Legion. But they were like, no, we gotta make some money. We gotta make some money, buddy.
they bring back Father Karras that's possessed by the what's the killer's name?
Gemini.
The Gemini killer. And I was
Yeah.
okay. I was okay with that. That didn't bother me much.
I
But
love Exorcist 3, man.
I love Exorcist 3, and I love George C. Scott's his
yeah.
his relationship with that priest, and the dialogue they have is so good. But yeah, I really like Exorcist 3.
And a lot of people don't realize in Exorcist 3, Kinderman, George C. Scott's character, and the priest, I'm trying to remember his name, at the end of Exorcist, their friendship begins.
Yeah.
And then it continues on in Exorcist 3. That's
the one, what is it? The George C. Scott character, he's supposed to be the same priest that talks to the mother in Exorcist, that comes in and asks some questions of her.
Yeah, same detective, right?
Yeah, that's supposed to be the same one. It's different, of course, different actors, but yeah.
Right.
But no, I really liked Exorcist 3, and I think those are the two movies. If you're going to watch Exorcist, the original, and Exorcist 3, and just forget about all the others. Forget about those two prequel movies that are just boring, absolutely dull. Those two prequel movies, where they tried they filmed it and then didn't like the way that went, so they got another director and tried to fix that one, but both of them pretty much suck or dull.
I'll give it credit as far as like that scene where the Nazis he's making people point to
and
kill.
He makes him choose someone to
kill, and he says God's not here today, priest, or whatever. That was kind of that was pretty well done, that part of it, But I mean, just overall, I think the movie's pretty dull, Right, it is. But that scene really, I was like, damn, this is World War II, like Nazi Germany. I was like, gosh.
Yeah. And did you see Believer?
No, hell no. I'm not gonna see it.
Well, I mean, it to me, just in looking at CK and Uncle Bill did the review of it. Right. And just seeing the trailers and seeing clips from it and hearing other people talk about it, it just looks like pure product. It just looks like there's no feeling. Yeah, cash grab, exactly. No feelings put into it.
No.
Just marketing the name Exorcist and using that as a product, like you would sell something that you would just take off a shelf and just shove in someone's face, just a product.
That's what's happening now. Nobody gives a shit in Hollywood anymore, seems like. So it's all the independent guys that you got to pay attention to. And then you got to sift through so much to find some good stuff,
Yeah. And, of course, me being as old as I am, I'm 58 years old, because I remember when you went to see a movie based on the director. Francis Coppola or, Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg or William Friedkin, those names, just the names of the directors sold the movie for me. I wanted to go see it because that person was directing this movie.
Exactly.
And these days, does that ever happen? Is there anybody that makes a movie nowadays where you want to see it because of the director?
Not many. I can name one that I particularly like. That's Ty West. I like most everything he's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, there's not many anymore. Even Scorsese's films aren't as strong as they used to be. I don't.
Yeah, well, he's got a new one out now.
And I do want to see that one. But
I want to see it. Yeah.
Flower Moon or something. I can't.
Yeah. I want to see it. It's based on a true story, and I definitely want to see it. But yeah, it used to be those, a lot of movies. I went to see them because of the director, because I just wanted, because I love the director and the movies that the director made. I wanted just whatever they're making is what I want to see. But the new guard, it isn't about the director. It's about the producers. It's about the studios. They're making all the decisions about
Bumhouse. Yeah, what I call them, Bumhouse.
Yeah. There's some good ones out. I'm not saying there's still not good movies, You know, I like some of that A24 stuff. I like some of their films. And but you know, like I say, that it's very seldom that a director, you know, will stand out. You know, that I want to seek it out. You know,
Have you seen Cronenberg's son, Brandon Cronenberg? Have you seen any of his stuff?
There's a movie I've got on my watch list. I think it's on, I don't know what channel it's on. I don't know if it's Amazon or channel or something like that, that he's directing, and I forget the name of it, but it's on my list to watch, you know.
Right.
And does he kind of direct in kind of his father's style? Is he kind of,
A lot of people say that, but I don't think he does. I think he's got his own. I like Possessor. It's okay, but I really like this one, Infinity Pool.
Oh, okay. Well, that's on my list, Infinity Pool.
Yeah. I really like this movie because when I come out of the theater, I was like, do I like this movie or do I not like it? It made me think, and I had to process everything.
Well, and that's another thing that's so rare is to finish a movie and you're thinking about the movie. You haven't just forgot it as soon as the credits have rolled.
Yeah, it made me think, though. You know,
that a movie that actually has you thinking and actually has you, you know, considering whether it's like you say, well, did I like this or how do I feel about this?
Yeah, I didn't know how to feel at first. The next day, though, I was like, I realized, hey, that's a great damn movie.
I did like it. But yeah, how seldom is that a movie that actually makes you think or makes you, you know, you think about what you've just watched and what it meant to you and how it made you feel and all that, you know.
Right.
Because I remember the first time I saw The Exorcist, the first time I saw the proper version of it, because the first time I saw it was CBS evening movie or whatever. Can you imagine seeing an edited version for television of The Exorcist?
Oh shit!
And that's the first time I saw The Exorcist was that version. But the first time I saw the movie proper was on VHS. And
the first time I saw it was on VHS, and I was 6 years old.
Oh my goodness! And how did that affect a 6-year-old? That movie?
It scared the shit out of me because when I went to bed that, you know, after I watched it, and I'm sitting in the dark, I'm thinking about those damn eyes of Reagan in the darkness. You know when the Exorcist pulls up?
Yeah.
Those eyes were close ups on her eyes. I was seeing that shit in my mind, you know, like when I was trying to go to sleep. It affected me for sure. Yeah. But it kind of drug me into the horror, though, you know.
And we have to talk to Jackin a bit here. What would you say is your favorite horror film? Period. If you're gonna, I know that's kind of hard to do sometimes, make it a top 10 or top 5 or something like that. But what would you say stands out as your favorite?
Night of the Demons. It's a classic.
Night of the Demons. Okay.
But check this out. The
Exorcist. Hell yeah!
Oh, cool. What do they call the pop figures?
Funko Pop.
Yeah, Funko Pop. Yeah, I've got a couple of Funko, but they're not movie related. I've got was it Big Brother and Little Sister from.
And your favorite horror film is Jaws, right, Jay?
Well, that's my favorite movie.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was going to say because I was wondering, like, do you consider that a horror or more adventure?
I think I would call Jaws kind of at least half of a horror film, maybe a full horror film. You know, because basically it's about people. It's about a monster. Basically.
It was effective. I mean, it made me not want to swim when I saw it.
Yeah, it's about a monster that's killing people and the hunt for the monster, the hunt to take down the monster, really. And that's what Alien is. I consider Alien to be a horror film. It's basically a monster on a spaceship, you know, and it's taking out everyone in the spaceship and you know, down to the last person. And Alien's a monster movie, a horror movie. I call Alien a horror movie.
For sure. The first one I call a horror. The second one I call an action.
More of an action film, yeah.
And it's just totally badass, though.
It is. I'm not taking nothing away from it, but Alien.
No.
Yeah, Alien I prefer though. over Aliens.
Yeah, well, but yeah, like you say, it's two different moods, Alien and Aliens. You're
Right.
watching two different kinds of movies, and yeah, I would call Aliens an action film.
But my favorite horror film, favorite film period is The Shining. It's just that's it for me.
And that's something I've talked with Dana and some other people about is that how much Stephen King hates The Shining,
Right.
hates that version of The Shining.
Yeah, I think Kubrick made it better. But
Yeah,
I mean,
but I do too. I love The Shining. I think it's right. I may not be my top, but I put it up there probably in the top 5 or top 10 at least.
right.
But yeah, you watch interviews with Stephen King. He says, well, it's cold. It's and Jack Nicholson is pretty much crazy from the get go, and there's no and he talks about his own book, about the character. Stephen King himself was dealing with alcoholism. He was dealing with the drug addiction to cocaine and stuff, and so
Right.
he said the movie is more about a person dealing with addiction and then being influenced by this hotel, and the inhabitants of this hotel, the ghosts and stuff. But no, I love The Shining.
Yeah.
I guess my favorite horror film, I switch from The Exorcist to John Carpenter's The Thing.
Okay.
And some years it'll be The Thing, and some years it'll be The Exorcist. I guess I'll put them just right even with each other. The John Carpenter's The Thing and The Exorcist as
Well,
being
The Exorcist and Texas Chainsaw swap places for me at 2 and 3.
Well, a lot of people would put Texas Chainsaw as the top, and
Right.
me being a Texan and being in rural Texas, I live out here in Lake Mejia, Texas. When I first saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it wasn't until like the mid '80s that I finally saw the movie. I saw it in a theater in Corsicana, Texas.
Damn it.
They were having a revival of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
And that movie was like a documentary to me, a lot of that movie.
Right.
The look of it, the scene in the graveyard with the bodies dug up and all that. Not
That's
that
what made it so damn scary because people didn't know. You didn't have internet, and people were like, this shit was real.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That hitchhiker, I have known the hitchhiker. I've known that bastard.
Right.
I grew up with people like that.
Yeah.
And I used to have this. It was basically, I called it a mini bike, but it was a little motorcycle. It was a Honda Z50, yellow. My parents bought it for me, brand new. And I would ride to these back roads around here in these Texas back roads and find these old houses behind barbed wire fences that were just abandoned, be cattle around them and stuff, be full of hay and shit, And I would park my little bike, my little motorcycle, and I would crawl under these barbed wire fences, and I would go and look in these old abandoned houses.
Yeah, we used to explore too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you would see like chicken bones and shit, and there'd be like a skull of a cow in it. So you look at the interior of the Texas Chainsaw House, and with the bones and all that, and like I say, this like a damn documentary. A lot of that movie, and so it really affected me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just the way it's shot, that 16 millimeter look, that grainy look,
that opening narration. I mean,
that narration.
It's like when I'm a little kid watching this, I'm just like, what in the hell am I about to watch? It was so damn effective.
And then when you see that body on top of that tombstone,
yeah, you're like, holy shit! But it's the first film that I had to look away. The hook scene.
Oh God!
The sound design of the hook scene.
Yeah, and
played with my head, So
yeah, and that's the thing is that it gets the reputation of being this really gruesome and gory movie. It's not. There's very little blood in the movie, but it's the way that it's shot and the way that
sound design.
The sound design. Oh God, that sound which I remember seeing an interview with Toby Hooper on how he got that sound, and what it was a tuning fork that you hit against a table, and you brush it against a piano what is it, a piano cable or whatever, what do you call them, you know, and a piano, you know, what do you call those things, piano wire or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And that's how he got that sound. Is it's a tuning fork running up and down a piano wire.
Right.
And but yeah, oh god, it just creeps up your spine, that sound, and just the whole sound design of that movie. And like I say, it's shot in 16 millimeter. It's got that sort of grainy, almost documentary look to it. And yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, growing up in rural Texas, and like I say, you
And I'm
feel,
not far from you, so I mean, I'm in Louisiana, so it's you know, it's pretty much the same.
and you feel the
Damn
heat.
near.
Man,
Yeah.
like I say, we just got through a summer at 110 degrees for like 2 or 3, like a week straight,
Oh yeah.
over 100 degrees for like 3 months straight. It was over 100 degrees. So you feel, when you watch that movie, you feel the heat and you feel that, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
and
it's brutal ass summer. This
yeah.
past summer was.
So, but yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre just hits the perfect tone as far as just being creepy as hell and scary and
Yeah, it you know, it never gets old.
no,
That's the thing. It's highly rewatchable.
yeah. And it's almost like it's one of those films that you see something new every time you watch it, or you see something you didn't notice, before,
Right.
even if you've seen it 100 times, you still see something new or see, but yeah, there's films, like I say, that just, that it's infinite, and films that I call comfort films that I could pretty much watch anytime. And John Carpenter's The Thing is one of them. The Exorcist is one. I could watch Exorcist 2 or 3 times a year.
Easy. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be at Halloween time or I have to be in a certain mood. I could just almost throw that on. And Jaws, of course. Jaws is my alt. I've seen that movie the most times in my life.
Yeah.
If I haven't seen it 100 times, I know it's close. I haven't seen it over 100 times. I've seen it in pretty much every format you can think of. I never had a laser disc player, but I've seen it in every other format. And that's the film that anytime it's playing on TV or streaming anywhere or whatever, I can just put on Jaws and watch it and just put it on in the background or whatever and just always be entertained by it.
Yeah. It's a timeless classic for sure.
And that Indianapolis scene is seen as one of the best scenes of any movie ever made. That whole conversation and just that I could watch that any day. There's that scene.
Dick Warlock was in Jaws too, right? Like
Dick,
he was a stunt guy in the cage in the water.
well, he was a dwarf, wasn't he? Or they had a dwarf in there, and for
one of the cage shots, from what I found out, was Dick Warlock was doubling as Richard Dreyfuss.
Well, I know when the scene when Richard Dreyfuss goes down,
Yeah,
and of course they're supposed to have the perspective of the shark, being so much bigger than Richard Dreyfuss, so they had a dwarf. I don't want to say midget. That's the word you're not supposed to use, midget anymore.
yeah.
But
I don't know how different dwarf and midget is.
I don't know if I'd rather be called a dwarf. I'd almost be ready to call it a midget. But anyway, and so he quit on them. They got a few shots, but it was a real shark though. It wasn't the stunt shark. It was an actual shark, and
yeah, somehow it was shot in like Australia or something.
Yeah, and when you see that in the movie where the shark is caught in that cage, and it's trying to escape that cage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, that's an actual shark,
Right.
And, but yeah, I don't blame him for quitting. I get out of there too. But yeah, like I say, that movie is just everything about it is just a film I could just watch anytime. So Night of the Demons, Jake's, that's your favorite, Jake. Like I say, I got two. The top three would be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Exorcist, and The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
That's not a bad three. You can't
My-
argue with those. So,
The top three.
yeah.
The Thing to me is just almost a perfect horror film. That it just you can just
It's
settle
definitely my favorite Carpenter.
Yeah, when you settle into The Thing, it's just like you're in for a good ride, and it just that whole thing about paranoia, not trusting your fellow man or who's around you, and being stuck in this Arctic, place where you can't go anywhere. Particularly
And the debate continues at the end of the film. The debate continues between the community and like who's the Thing? Are they either one of them the Thing?
Well, my personal opinion, I
Yeah.
don't think either one of them's the Thing. My personal opinion. I just think they're just about to freeze to death and die. But I don't think either one of us is the Thing.
Right.
It would be fun to think of that maybe one of them is, because, it's going to get frozen and then it's going to get rediscovered and dug up again someday. It might be 100 years from now, but someone will dig it up again, and then the shit will start again.
Right. Yeah.
But that's my personal opinion, is that I don't think either one of them's the Thing. What do you think?
I think Childs is the Thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
And why do you think Childs is the Thing?
Because the whole smirk on Kurt Russell's face, he's kind of like, so there's like this theory I found, and I kind of agree with, that he hands him something to drink and it's supposed to be gasoline. You don't see Kurt drink it. Have you noticed this?
I'll notice it now, but no, sir.
He hands it to Childs, and he takes a drink of it, and he's like smirks and shit. I don't know if that's relevant, like enough evidence, but
let's see. MTH Bruh says, if you count the video game as canon, neither of them are the Thing.
Okay. I don't count the video game.
I played it one time, but I don't remember that. I remember playing that old video game. It was like on the original. Was it for the original? Was it PS3, that game?
PS2, I think, maybe.
Yeah, PS2 or 3. Let's see. Back for Blood says, I kind of watched the United States of Horror 2 last night. Some of it was okay. Sean says he's in Dallas. Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I say, I'm sorry, I'm right up to the screen because I'm so nearsighted. Carter Detention says Infinity Pool made me think about how horrifying it would be to have a hand job in the middle of pissing.
Yeah, that does happen. It does happen in the movie.
Well, I'll have to see that. Like I say, that's on my watch list. I've saved that on my list, so I'll have to watch Infinity Pool. Red says, I missed the good days of Stephen King before he got hit by a car.
He got hit by a car?
Yeah, he got hit by a van. In
shit.
fact,
Okay.
I don't know if you read the Dark Tower stuff, but
no,
he appears as a character in the last two Dark Tower books. He appears as Stephen King, and there's mention of that in another dimension, he's hit by the van and he's killed. But yeah, he was hit by a van. I think he was just walking alongside the road or something. And I guess I don't know if someone said, "Hey, there's Stephen King," and then accidentally hit him. And yeah, it put him in the hospital. It fucked him up pretty bad, getting hit by that van. Let's see. Marv Dagger says, or Marv Dogger, Marv Dogger, watched Talk to Me last night. Thought that was overrated. Glad I didn't buy it. I haven't seen Talk to Me yet.
I mean, I appreciated what they did, and I kind of liked it, but I don't think it was like everybody said it was. That Talk to Me,
yeah,
it was really overhyped, and I just don't see the rewatchability with it. That's the thing. Like, I don't know how many times I could go back and watch that same. It's just, I don't know. It's okay. It's not nothing that broke new ground or anything.
Yeah.
So
No, it's definitely one that I want to see, and I've heard a lot of people say that it's good, that they really liked it, but
yeah.
and for
But
me
there's
that's
some
okay.
people.
I mean, it doesn't have to break new ground as long as they make a good movie, as long as
Yeah,
you know.
it's decent, but I mean, I don't know how. It's a one time watch for me. Is all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Well, no, that's definitely on the list to watch.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. For sure.
But anyway, TJ Frizzy, we're talking about Michael and where he gets the new mask after the guy in the resurrection, in the ambulance has got the mask on. Where does he get the new mask? And TJ Frizzy says, yeah, in part 4, he finds the mask in a random store. So the mask was never going to be the same as far as the cinematic universe. So I guess when you see different masks, he's getting them from different places.
How about that part 5 mask though? That damn Greg Nicotero mask.
Yeah.
Shit.
Then when Annie Bo Manny says Busta Rhymes, really? Yeah, I agree.
Right.
And she also,
motherfucker.
Happy Halloween, motherfucker. And she also says Resurrection. How the hell did that get made? Seriously, that had to be okayed. I don't even include it at all. Well, that's me. I'm going to forget.
Could you imagine that being your first Halloween film watching?
And there was someone that I think he was either the stream last night I did with Dana or the one before the night before that said Resurrection was their first one. First Halloween film.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, all this nostalgia hits, different ways, I guess. Like it's all about timing.
And Sean says, I like ends. So, okay.
Right.
Oh,
man.
Well,
I mean,
so
you like it, I love it, I guess.
To each their own.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. MTH Bruh says originally H2O wasn't supposed to be a reboot, but the producers had a different idea. Yeah, those fucking producers.
They had money in the eyes.
Let's see. Masters of the 80s says, hey, gents. Hey, Masters.
That's Anthony from the UK, man.
Oh, okay. Hey, sir. And TJ Frizzy says, I think most movies should stop after the first. So, okay. I think I would agree with that, particularly if it's a really good movie, but that's not going to happen. If a movie is popular,
if it makes money,
you're going to get more of it.
Right. I can see Megan making more.
And see, there's movies that I don't mind that I actually wouldn't mind seeing more. I wouldn't see more of Megan. Because I don't hold Megan at this real high, level.
I don't either.
I see Megan as kind of disposable entertainment, as I put through.
My 6-year-old, he liked, I let him watch stuff, whatever. Call me a bad parent. I don't. I was watching shit very young, and
you gotta start them early. But anyway, but I liked Megan, and their I think it's the Amazon channel has an unrated cut of Megan that I like. That was actually I like that better than the original. It's got a few extra
I haven't
scenes.
seen the uncut. I do have it. I bought it, but
it's got a little more gore in it, and it's got more fucks in it. There's more F words in it. Right. I liked it. I actually liked it better, but I liked Megan, and I wouldn't mind seeing Megan return. I wouldn't mind seeing another Megan movie. Right. There's movies like that you kind of hold at a lower level in importance or how you feel about them. It's like it's sort of disposable entertainment, like the Terrifier movies.
I really like Art the Clown though.
I like Art. And if you see the guy that plays Art the Clown, you can't believe this is the guy that's playing Art the Clown.
Right.
Almost a nerdy guy.
Right. It is.
Guy with glasses.
Yeah, I met him a couple years back. I met David Howard Thornton.
Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy, friendly guy.
He is, man, and you wouldn't think. I mean, just by looking at him.
But you get all that prosthetics, all that makeup on. I guess anybody could be Art the Clown. You get all that crap on your face. But he's a genuinely disturbing character. Art the Clown is.
So he was saying that he auditioned, and what he did was he auditioned as a mime.
Yeah.
And that's how he got the part.
Well, that's what he was doing plays and
Right.
he had studied like, mime and movement and that kind of stuff. And so he already had that, ability but yeah. And Terrifier, I have a ball with Terrifier. And Terrifier 2 is so over the top in the gore that to me it's almost comedy.
I'm hearing now that part 3 is going to be set at Christmas time.
That's a good idea. I'd like to see that. And now you've got, a protagonist, actually in a story. Because the first, I like the first Terrifier, but there's not much of a story. It's just Art the Clown killing people, killing women. And then, of course, you have that famous scene where he hangs her up and splits her down the middle,
I love that scene.
Barely no budget on that.
Yeah, no budget, and not really any story to it. It's just him going. He's just on a killing spree.
But to do what he did, I think he only had like 20,000 for the.
Well, and of course, who's the director? What's the director's name?
Damien Leone.
Yeah, he does all the makeup himself.
Right.
I think he has a few assistants that help him with it. Most of that makeup he's doing it himself. He's almost he's a one-man band. He directs, he does the sound design, he does the lighting, I guess, or he just pretty much does everything himself,
I'm sure he's got people now. I'm sure he's made some money now.
Yeah, well, I think Terrifier 2 probably made him some money where, now he's got a budget he can work with for 3. But now you've got some story. You've got this girl that's, got supernatural powers, I guess,
it's like some kind of demon or something.
Yeah. And so now you've got, he's actually has someone that can, challenge him now. And
you talking about? Okay, I get you.
Hopefully we'll get an origin of, where'd it come from? We these little hints, but, of course, he's a supernatural character. He literally gets reborn at the end of 2.
Right.
Literally, he's literally reborn. And they hint at where his origin may be, but there's no, but hopefully that, for the third one, they answer that, where he's come from.
So you want to know? I kind of think that it might be best if you don't, you got, it's like David Lynch says, once you take the mystery away, then the magic's gone, Well,
that's a good point, but maybe just a sort of a hint of where his origins may be, but not like this, not just dot all the I's and cross all the T's, but give you sort of a hint, or give some sort of
explain a little, but not everything.
Little bit. But I think that what you say is a good idea to just don't spell it all out or solve all the mysteries and keep him sort of this enigmatic killer, this. Obviously, he seems to be, I guess you can kill him because you kill him, he's just going to get reborn.
He kills himself.
He kills himself. Yeah, he kills himself. And his partner in 2, I think, was a cool touch. The girl.
A little girl is creepy as hell.
Yeah, creepy.
All these little girls dressing up like her now.
Well, no, but I like that because, like I say, the trend is that I hate is that, well, you're going to get a bunch of Barbies this year. Kids, girls dressing like Barbie.
Yeah.
You're going to get Barbie and Ken and crap, So, no, come on, fuck that. You're supposed to be something scary or something creepy. So doing the girl from Terrifier 2 would be really cool to see, little girls.
I've seen it at Texas Frightmare. There was a shit ton of them. I was like, gosh, damn.
And I like it was it David Howard Thornton actually goes to conventions as Art the Clown, but he doesn't announce himself that I'm the real Art the Clown. He just goes, dresses up as him, and just walks around and takes pictures with people.
Shit. Yeah.
I like that. I like that he does that. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to what they're doing next with the third one, but like I say, that gore is just so extreme that it's to me it's almost a comedy. It's almost a black comedy because
Did you watch it all the way after the credits on Terrifier 2? because there's another scene with I think Chris Jericho is at the end credits. There's a whole nother scene though.
I'm not sure. I'm forgetting.
Okay.
If I did, because it's been a couple of months since I've seen it twice, but I'm forgetting if I saw that. I probably did see it because I think I just let it run into it.
I actually had to go to Texas to see it. I had to drive 60 miles or 70 miles to somewhere. I don't even remember where. I just looked up on GPS, drove there.
And you said you met Art. You met him.
I mean, I'm talking about to go see the movie.
Oh, the movie itself, yeah.
It wasn't playing nowhere here in Shreveport, but
yeah.
But yeah, I met Art a couple years back, so that was.
But to have it's been, how many years has it been since we've had anyone that we'd consider a franchise character like Freddy or Jason?
Right.
Art's the new one. Art's the new franchise.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They've tried with others like that. You ever see that Laid to Rest?
Oh yeah,
Chrome Skull or whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't work out, no.
Yeah, and I guess you maybe consider Megan might be a new franchise character. Making because that one made so much money and was so popular, and I'm sure there's little girls dressing like Megan.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Dressing like her. That'd be a cool costume, Megan. But yeah, Art is, like I say, he's so cool. He looks so creepy and so,
That's the thing too, like with him, like because he's all funny and comical one second, but then he goes dark and cold the next day.
But also when he's killing, because
he's having fun again.
And that scene in the bedroom where he's basically stripping her from head to toe, and then what is it he brings? Was it salt and vinegar? Or what is it he brings? Yeah,
salt and bleach.
Bleach, salt, bleach.
Salt.
And he brings out bleach and salt, and that big bright smile on his face. It's like
just and the mashed potatoes, shit.
But when he's stripping her skin off, he's got this delightful grin. He's having a ball. He's doing
right.
He was doing what he put on the earth to do. And
I've seen that. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm kind of wondering about it. So David Howard Thornton's playing. In that, have you heard about it? The Mean One.
Is that the name of the movie? The Mean One.
It's called The Mean One, but it's basically the Grinch. But it's a horror film where he's, it's super low budget, but I haven't seen it yet, but I've been hearing about it.
I haven't heard about that. No, but now I want to seek that out. But
yes, The Mean One.
The Mean One.
Yeah,
I like the title. Then, if it's supposed to be basically the Grinch, but I like the title.
Right.
But yeah, that him as a having a new character that we can sort of follow, our new franchise character, Art the Clown.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan. I know a lot of people don't like him or or whatever, but
I can certainly see he's going to be sort of he's not for everybody because of those films. Like I say, you've got to be a fan of.
Yeah, I definitely won't let
gore and that sort of thing. Yeah. But it's not a kid's film.
No, I won't let my son watch those. But
because there's films that I watched as a kid too. Because God, that Karen Black being chased by that the doll in Trilogy of Terror.
Oh yeah,
I was probably 6 years old when I saw that.
That shit still holds up.
And it still holds up. I've got the old DVD of it, but I still watch that, and it still just creeps me the hell out the way that that's filmed and shot.
Right.
But and the stuff as a kid that is,
How can I see the films you've done, Jay?
I'll send you what you can do is I can send you I don't know, do I have you as a friend on Facebook? If not, friend me. Send me a friend request, and I can just send you the links to them.
Okay. And it's just Jay Real on Facebook, or
just Jay Real.
Okay.
And because Yeah, the Crystal is not. I haven't made that public. She made a monster public, but I tried searching it and I can't find it on YouTube, which is weird because it's made public. She made a monster. Um,
Okay.
Crystal is. I still have a few festivals left for it to go through, and so I've been keeping it unlisted because there's some festivals that don't want you to just have your film just readily available, to watch. But I
Right.
do have it on YouTube that I can send you the link. You can watch it that way.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll send you those two. The last one and She Made a Monster. Um,
Okay.
those are the two that has done well at the festivals and stuff. And definitely two moods. One is a comedy, kind of a silly comedy, about a kid that brings a monster into the world with a teleporter.
Okay.
And then Crystal is more serious, I guess more of a horror film, I guess you could say. Um, but
Good deal.
and let's see with someone that's
I'll
talked.
be right back, y'all.
Okay, sir. Let's see. Back for Blood says, I just wish they'd go all the way back to making them the way they did in the 80s, the opposite of what some people think should happen. Back when I wasn't really paying attention, I assumed it was newer, it was improved because I gave people way too much credit. But I'm now fully aware that it usually isn't. And I'm trying to think what you're talking about specifically there. Back for Blood. You talking about the Halloween films or just films in general, or horror films in general? And Wes says movie studios nowadays don't want to take any chances. Nowadays, it's usually from an old franchise, comic book, novel, etc.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, Jake, I don't know how you feel about that, but it's like nowadays. I look back to the way William Friedkin made The Exorcist. You look at some of the shots in The Exorcist and how shocking it is, and this a director wouldn't even think about taking those kind of chances now.
No way.
You can't take a chance of offending anybody, and it's like you have to include everybody. All the different groups of people have to be included now. You can't just tell your story, no matter how shocking the story may be, or how or challenging it may be for people to watch.
Yeah.
They won't take those chances anymore. It's like yeah, and now it's just all about comic, whatever's going to make the most money. Comic book films. Barbie, of all things, made $1 billion. So they're going to make more crap like that because that's what's making the money. And that's what they're going to shove in your face is crap like that. That is, takes no real chances. That's the look that I brought up. Films like, like William Friedkin and Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg that had real vision. When you watch those movies, you saw, they put their mark on a film. So when you went to the theater, sometimes you wouldn't even have to be told that this is a Martin Scorsese film or that this is a Steven Spielberg film. You could just tell by the way the movie was made. Right. And they put their mark on a film. They put their heart and soul into a film, and that just doesn't happen anymore. There's no real feeling. There's no chances taken, And
Yeah,
like I say, there's some exceptions, like something like Terrifier 2, where it's just so extreme in its gore and stuff. But that's for a specific kind of audience that really love that kind of stuff,
And you can tell he really loves the genre too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've seen him interviewed, and he talks about the films that he grew up with. He talked about Spielberg and talked about George Romero and all that. He's really influenced by the stuff he saw. And if you look,
TJ talking about Smile, and that made the most money out of all the horror films last year.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Smile. I've heard a lot of people didn't just say that it's not very good or didn't.
It was effective in the theater. It was more effective because I watched it in the theater, and then I watched it at home, and it wasn't the same. So, because the sound design for Smile was pretty damn good in the theater, but at home I was just like, you know, it wasn't as, I don't know, maybe it's the second watch just wasn't as good, you know.
Yeah.
But here's a few that you was asking about, some things I might, because I always want to watch new stuff, you know. So here's a few I'm gonna watch. Have you seen this one? I have never seen it.
The Screaming Woman. No, sir.
The
No.
Screaming Woman. I'm gonna check that out. I gotta check out some Vincent Price. Gotta get some Price in there.
Well, you know, I brought up with Dana the Abominable Dr. Phibes.
Oh yeah,
those two films
right.
are just, yeah. I just have a ball with those films. Most of Vincent Price's stuff, I just have a ball with. But I love the Dr. Phibes films because I kind of compared those to the Final Destination films. You know, where it's like.
And if you think about it, he's kind of like it makes me think that they ripped that off and made Saw.
Saw, yeah, and I think someone brought that up too when I was with Dana talking about that. He brought up Saw, yeah.
Right.
The very inventive ways that he kills people in those films, and but yeah, I definitely tell people, you want to watch a good Halloween film, find the two Dr. Phibes films of Vincent Price. But and what was that one that you just held up, the Vincent Price film?
This is Twice Told Tales.
Oh, okay.
It's a comedy horror, I'm guessing. I haven't seen it either.
Is it kind of is it like an anthology thing?
I'm not really sure, because I mean he's got like over 100 horror films.
Yeah.
He made like 211 movies or films.
Oh yeah.
But and then so much TV work he did.
Oh,
There's another one with him. It's a Edgar Allan Poe. CK did a review on this one, the Oblong Box.
Oh, the Oblong Box, yeah.
With Christopher Lee and Vincent Price. And then I want to get into this. And still haven't checked this one out. It's Carlos Enrique Taboada from some Mexican horror, Spanish horror, whatever. But kind of want to check these out. Mexican Gothic from so I'll see what they're about.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, there's so much stuff to watch. I try not to watch. I always want to see something different. You know what I mean?
Well, you bringing up Christopher Lee, I love his Dracula films.
Oh yeah.
And so I've got a sort of little box set. It's just regular DVDs, but I've got a box set of most of his Dracula films. And I'm definitely going to watch some of those, probably either tonight or tomorrow watch some of his Dracula stuff.
I see Jack's comment. He says, "We're all jacking off with Jay, but I got to go to work." Oh no.
Well, glad you was able to join me jacking it and then playing with my balls.
Yeah.
And no, this has been a good one. Like I say, CK originally, the plan was mainly for me to talk about the Halloween films, but I had already talked so much about them with the stream I did last time with Foz and Lumberjack, and then with Dana. It's like, I don't know what more I could say about them,
So you've seen 1 through 7, right?
Yeah. And now is to see the finish up the David Gordon Green one.
I know you've seen 1 through 8.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. And want to go back and watch Halloween 2 again, because it's been a long time since I've seen Halloween 2, and I want to see that.
What about those Halla Zombie films? Rob Zombie 1 and 2.
I saw them one time.
Okay.
I saw them both. One time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like House of a Thousand Corpses. I like Devil's Rejects, and then I'm pretty much done with Rob Zombie after that. What is that?
Sid Haig.
Sid Haig.
Oh,
yeah. I had mentioned this with Dana. I helped Sid Haig set up his table one year at the Frightmare. He was like, I was walking I had set my table up, and then I went walking, and he was trying to put up a banner or something like that. And when he was, "Hey man, could you help me with something?" And so I stood up on a chair and helped him hang up his banner behind his table. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I got one of his older films coming. With Spider Baby.
Spider Baby. Oh man, that's
Yeah.
another one that's it's on one of the streaming services. I've got it on the list that I may watch that too. Yeah, Spider Baby.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I recently listened to. I was at work one day. I started listening to all the Dead Pit interviews.
Yeah.
With and I'd never listened to the Sid Haig one, but that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to find some things that, like I say, I've never seen before. I'm always looking for suggestions of this stuff I've never seen before,
Right.
or stuff that has been so long that I haven't seen it.
I got another one. Hold on, that I just watched. It's crazy as hell. Hold on a second, I'll grab it.
And if you have anything, Jake, show what you got.
Oh, no, no. How about Feast?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you seen them? Okay, these movies are just great. They're over the top, batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Feast films. They're crazy as hell. They're fun though. I highly recommend this, Jay. If you've never seen this, we just covered it on the Eurocult.
Next of Kin.
Next
Now
of
I
Kin.
have heard of that. I don't think I've ever seen it, but I think
It's an Australian film, but highly recommend this film,
let
man.
me write that down. Next of Kin. Yeah, I definitely have heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
And then you got this one, Night of the Hunted, with Bridget LaHaye.
Oh yeah.
This is a crazy ass movie. I was going to show the cover, but I don't know if I can. But it's a different take on, like, I don't know. It's a Jean Roland. I guess that's how you say his name, or Gene Roland. Yeah, Night of the Hunted. It's a trip.
Just a minute here. I'm looking for something. Because you bringing that up, that puts me in mind. Night of the Hunter.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Robert Mitchum.
That's a great movie.
Great,
Excellent.
great performance by Robert Mitchum.
Yep.
Shelley Winters, and who directed that was a one and only film he ever directed. I think he was usually an actor, wasn't he? The guy that directed Night of the Hunter.
Yeah, I just saw that Night of the Hunter last year.
But yeah, that's a good creepy film, and particularly for Robert Mitchum's performance.
Right.
That would be a good Halloween watch. Just his performance. This insane preacher, guy. Yeah, and
but yeah. I just watched this one too, with Ted Raimi, Skinner.
Oh yeah.
You seen that one?
I don't think I've seen that. No, I don't think I've seen
You got Tracy Lords. You got Tracy Lords in there with Ted Raimi and Ricky Lake.
Interesting combination. I think with the John Waters, I think he had both of them in his films. So he had Ricky Lake and Tracy Lords in his films.
What is it, Jake? What'd you say?
John Waters.
Crybaby.
Crybaby, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crybaby, Hairspray, and of course you go back to his early stuff,
Right.
And but the stuff with Divine, and that's something I definitely would go and look at, find some old interviews or stuff with Divine. There's a documentary of him. I forget where I saw it, of Divine, but it was really interesting. I just love documentaries about anybody or anything. But that one they did of Divine, I thought was really good, about his whole
There's a
story.
really good interview on that Texas Chainsaw release with Toby Hooper and William Friedstein. Friedkin. Dang.
Well, anything with Friedkin. I mean, I can listen to that man talk all day because he had such a high knowledge of just filmmaking or films, period, just old films that inspired him, and
Right.
just talking about his process because he was just crazy. He was batshit crazy.
Hell yeah, he was crazy as hell.
I mean,
Smacking people around and shit.
You were lucky to get out of his films without major injury.
Shooting guns and shit.
Yeah, guns, and walking up to that priest at the end that's praying over Father Karras.
Right.
Slapped the shit out of him before the shot. Just walked up and just hauled off and slapped him in the face. And so he's got that shaking hand. He says, I wasn't acting. My hands were shaking because I would just, he just slapped me. And, that
was all genuine.
But that's how he got performances and got shit done, And,
Can't do that shit no more.
All that big chasing and French Connection, there's no rights were gotten, for the street or anything. They just went out there and shot that shit. They didn't, section the street off or anything. They just went out there in traffic and just shot that shit. He did what he had to do to get his shots, and to get his performances or whatever. And
I see some boos for Skinner in the chat. It's a gore fest.
Absolutely. Well, let's see. Annie Banny says Skinner absolutely sucked. It was the worst.
Yeah.
And then Brady Max talking about Tracy Lords, and I have talked about how I met Tracy Lords. She was at one of the Frightmares, and I met her. I didn't get her autograph. My friend of mine got a picture with her and got her autograph, but I had a few words with her, but I didn't get an autograph. And let's see. Wes says, I'm going to see it, TJ. Now, anybody going to watch Eli Roth's Thanksgiving when it comes out? I saw the trailer for Thanksgiving.
I won't be going to the theater.
Yeah, the fake trailer he made, was kind of fun, but yeah, I won't go to the theater and see that. But I'd hardly be able to get these days. I'm hardly ever able to get to a theater, because my best friend passed away, Barry. He was the one that I would go see movies and stuff with. But last December he passed away, so I'm kind of,
I just haven't been excited to go to the theater.
No.
There's really nothing that. Oh, I gotta go.
That's true. Well, like I say, it was back in my day. That was what you did. Particularly on the weekends, you went and saw a movie. There's always something to watch, and there was always something that you were, excited to watch.
Right.
I talked about one of the best times I ever had in a theater. A couple of them. One was seeing Raising Arizona, which because I already liked the Blood Simple, the Coen Brothers' first movie, Blood Simple, but it's a very dark, film.
Blood Simple?
Blood Simple, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
And I love Blood Simple. So after seeing Blood Simple and just seeing all of this is made by the Coen Brothers, Raising Arizona. And I didn't know what to expect. I thought, well, after seeing Blood Simple, I might get more of that, but it was completely just off the wall, the comedy in Raising Arizona. And when that was over, I just wanted to sit in the theater and watch it again immediately. Oh my God, I love
Raising Arizona is shit. I mean, that's
and Raising Arizona. Raising Arizona is what I'm talking about.
Definitely in one of my.
That was the one that I wanted to see again.
Comedies,
Yeah, me too. And that She Made a Monster movie is kind of influenced by Raising. I wanted to do something sort of wacky like that. I didn't really. I don't think I succeeded very well, but I tried to. But anyway, oh God, I love Raising Arizona. And I did on the Dead Pet interviews. You can see my interview with William Forsythe, and I talked to him. I wanted to talk to him about Raising Arizona, and I told him how much I admired that movie and loved his performance, him and John Goodman and all that. but oh gosh, what was I going to say? What was the subject? What brought me? There was a point I was going to make, but I forget what it is now.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
I call it sometimers.
I just know what we were talking about before I brought that up. Before I brought up
Yeah.
raising ozone blood sample. But let's see. Let's see. Wes says that's not the next of kin with Swayze, boss. And Betamax says 1987 and Hunter's Blood needs a Blu-ray 4K release. Marv Dagger says Open Season from 1974 really needs a Blu-ray or 4K release. It didn't even get a DVD. Open Season.
I'm not familiar with that one.
New to me. I'm kind of, all these years, I haven't watched a lot of the Italian stuff and the Giallo stuff. And then I've got on the list, I watched, House by the Cemetery with Dana.
You watched the Gates of Hell trilogy, right?
I saw Gates of Hell, but I don't have, what else is there?
Then you got the Beyond.
Yeah, I watched,
And then you got City of the Living Dead.
City of the Living Dead. That was one I watched recently. City of the Living Dead, and but anyway, what have I got? Phenomena on there. I'm trying to think. There's some others that I've got that I really hadn't watched.
Phenomena you'll love, Jay. It's got Donald Pleasence and what the hell's her name? Jennifer Connelly.
There's a lot of those that I've never seen.
But that's a crazy ass movie, and I think you'll like that one for sure. Yeah. Phenomena. I mean, can't go wrong with that one.
Let's see. TJ Frizzy says, "Be careful. Spider Baby has a remake. Don't think it's out yet, but seems like a dumb idea."
Yeah.
Now, Annie Bobani says, "What about FNAF? Any interest or opinion?"
Five Nights at Freddy's. I watched some of it with my son, and I was watching it because of him. Yeah. But he said he didn't want to finish it, so we didn't even finish the damn thing. So
because he didn't like it, or did it scare him?
He didn't like it.
Didn't like it.
No, that ain't gonna scare him.
Well, it's something like at Walmart and stuff. I would see those Five Nights at Freddy's toys, and I've got a great nephew, my niece's son. She got a son and daughter, and he collected those Five Nights at Freddy's characters, dolls, and stuff. So I think
the game's probably scarier than the actual. I mean, but they made it PG-13. So, it is what it is.
Well, I don't have any opinion about that. Like I say, I mean, it might be something like it. Whenever it comes at one of the services I've got.
It's on Peacock if you got Peacock.
Yeah, I have to pay for it. I'll watch it. Okay. Let's see. Alpha Romero says, "What's up, guys?" Hey, Alpha.
What's going on, man?
And there's Texas, HXCX 1965, which is the year I was born. So I've got someone that's as old as me or around my age, which is a rare thing to find someone that's and as old as I am. It says, "Hey, Alpha." But no, we've had a good talk here, and like I say, covering the particularly the subject of films, of watch around Halloween, and just films in general, and kind of lamenting what's gone. When movies, it's hard to remember a great movie anymore. A movie where
when movies were films and not just some cash grab shit.
Yeah, where you actually looked at a film almost as an art form. That this was, they had a vision, and of course, I'm not saying you didn't see shitty movies growing up. You see some. You saw shitty movies too, and some of them you had fun with, even the shitty ones. But you also saw what you would consider a great movie when you walked out of it. I'm trying to think, what's the last movie I saw that I really thought was a really great movie, and it was probably Sling Blade for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
where when I finished it, I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Sling
thought I
Blade?
was, huh?
For me, it'd be Hereditary.
Now I thought it was really good.
Okay.
I wouldn't say great, but I thought it was really good. I liked Hereditary, and I liked
Right.
what was the one that was the one he made after that.
Midsommar.
Sir,
Midsommar.
Midsummer, yeah.
Yeah.
I call it Midsummer,
Right.
but no, I really like that too. But and so then that made me want to sort of seek out anything else he did, you know.
I've just watched that Beau is Afraid, but I sure as hell wasn't going to go to the theater because it's like 3 hours long. But
and that one is it's pretty wacky. That one, isn't it?
it's crazy as hell. But it's like
Yeah.
it's like you're in a damn fever nightmare dream. You know, like I mean, it's crazy. Bad.
Well, here's
crazy.
got what Joker in it. What's his name? What's the
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix? Yeah,
It's done well though. Really, really well.
yeah.
It's a dark comedy. I mean, there's a dude fixing to kill himself, and you see all these people with cell phones just recording it. It's like kind of like a take on our society today, you know? Like,
yeah. Well, that's exactly what would happen if you saw someone about to kill themselves. That'd be the first thing they'd do before they'd try to call the cops or call help. They'd get your damn cell phone.
Yeah.
That's exactly what would happen. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's got shit like that in it. But it's like the character shit just keeps getting worse for him as the movie progresses. It's like I said, it's a nightmare that just won't end, kind of deal. But
yeah.
But I like Ari Aster. I think he's one of the better filmmakers.
Yeah.
Today, but.
Well, yeah, and particularly taking, Hereditary and Midsummer as examples is just like, well, there is someone you actually do see a vision. You do see a unique way of making films and perspective.
Right.
Let's see. Annie Bo. I'm so nearsighted.
Annie Bo Banny.
Annie Bo Banny.
Annie Bo Banny.
Have you seen Billy Bob Thornton's Daddy and Them? It's like Sling Blade, full of stars, and deserve more attention. If you haven't found it, I need to find that because I have not seen that. Daddy and Them. And Alpha Romero says loved Beau is Afraid. So
yeah,
he said he loved it. So
yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to watch it a few more times though. Like it's that kind of movie. You know,
and you say it's a long one, huh? It's like 3 hours long.
It's long. That's why I didn't go to the theater. But I got a pause and a stop button, so we're good.
Well, that's how I finally got through that damn Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh shit! I haven't watched that one, but
I finally had to. But it took me 2 days to get through that. And of course that's their idea of a best picture. It won best picture. And it's cool that Short Round got an Oscar. That was cool. And,
yeah.
And Jamie Lee Curtis won an Oscar for it. So it's cool that, but people that you like getting an Oscar is cool. Even if you didn't care much for the movie itself, it's cool that they got some attention. I think it has a lot of cool images, cool shots.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just all visuals. There's very little story to it. There's very little to keep you going and keep you wanting to watch what's going to happen next because the story is so thin, just razor thin in that movie. That to me, it was just all visuals, just all flashy shit to watch.
Okay.
And there is some cool stuff to watch, but for 2.5 hours or however long it is, it's way too long. And like I say, there's not enough story to keep me motivated to watch it. I did finish it, but it took a couple of days to do it.
Right. Yeah, I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't have any interest in it.
But I would say watch it once, and like I say, it does have some cool visuals in it, and some performances. Jamie Lee Curtis gives a good performance in the film. I like her character in the film.
Yeah.
And let's see, Back for Blood says, well, let's see. TJ Frizzy says, I watched The Barn from 2016 on Screenbox. Wasn't bad. An okay 80s throwback set on Halloween movie. A bit slow until it gets gory. The Barn. And Back for Blood says he's the only one of the Goonies who has an Oscar, including Josh Brolin. Yeah, I'm talking about what's the actor's name? I just want to say Short Round. What's his name? TJ Frizzy says The Daughter and Everything Everywhere was pretty good. One of the better performances. Yeah, I would agree with that. Alpha Romero says, got to disagree with you there, Jay. There's a lot to dig into with that film. Speaking of everything everywhere. All
Okay.
Okay, I could see that. I mean, I could see how some people would really like it. I can see its appeal. Just for me, I just didn't think there was enough story to sort of grab me. There is a story, yes. You know, it's kind of basically, to me, the whole thing was like, what if you had made different choices in your life? If you haven't married the person you married, or if you haven't met the person you met, and you took a different path, how have your life, how have things might have turned out for you? Would you have had a better life, or would you, think you would have been more successful, or you would have done something that you wanted to do that you didn't do, you know?
Right.
And to me, that's pretty much the story of that. And at the very end, it kind of says, well, look, appreciate what you have, appreciate the person if you've got someone that loves you and cares for you, appreciate that. Don't look for the better thing, or lament that you didn't take
You
this.
don't have regrets and stuff.
Don't have regrets. If you found someone that loves you, and you've got, support, take that as something that's really good, and appreciate what you have. That's the way I took it. The whole the theme and story.
Right.
And like I say, it's worth seeing at least once, I would say.
I need to dig into this damn thing. Lux Eterna.
I don't think I've heard of that either.
Gaspar, no. I know I probably said his name wrong, but he did another movie called Enter the Void. He does some wild ass movies, but
well, and to me, that's like, I get in the mood for something like that. Just what you call a wild ass movie,
Yeah.
And Texas HA says, "Hey Blair." But no, this has been a good one, and I've written some good ideas. Some ideas you've particularly you've come up with some stuff that I've never heard of that I want to seek out. I definitely want to see that Beau is Afraid, and Next of Kin.
Next to Kin, I think you'll really, really like. It's damn good movie.
Yeah,
gotta say.
Yeah. And is that what would you call that, a horror film, Next of Kin?
Yeah, it's a psychological horror, but it kind of turns into a slasher, and it kind of mixes some different genres in there. Yeah. I would say, but it's a damn good Australian. I mean, it's probably my favorite Australian film that I've seen. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll wrap this up pretty soon here. But Jake, is there anything you would suggest, or anything that any thoughts you have about movies to watch around this time?
Absolutely. 1999 Intruder.
Intruder.
Oh.
By Scott Spiegel. Yeah, this was a classic.
Okay, let me write that.
Yeah. You seen that one, Jay?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
So I've written down.
And Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen Demon Knight, but I really like the series, and but I don't know if I've ever seen any of the movies, the Tales from the Crypt movies. There was a Demon Knight, and what was the one? It was a vampires, wasn't it? What was it?
Bordello of Blood.
Oh, okay. Bordello of Blood. Okay.
Also, check this out real quick.
Okay.
Okay, this.
Okay.
What?
I thought you finna put the damn mask on. Mask.
Yeah.
You got to be careful. Cause was it 2 nights ago? I had a watch along with Dana, and for Halloween, the original Halloween, the '78 Halloween, and when the theme starts at the beginning, I said, "Oh, well, we got to listen to the theme," and she got a copyright thing for that.
That'll snatch you real quick.
Yeah, that she got a notice or something. It didn't take it down or nothing. She didn't get penalized or nothing. But they sent her a notice, a copyright
warning.
Notice, because we listened to the damn Halloween theme. So,
oh man, sorry about that.
But like I say, of all the music in any horror film, I guess that is probably the most recognizable. I guess, and people have never even seen Halloween. They know that theme.
They know that theme, along with Jaws.
And Jaws, yeah, of course, Jaws. Okay, guys, I guess we'll kind of wrap this up. But thank both of you guys, and thank you, SPC. Is that SPC?
Yeah, I'm the subjective perspective collector.
Subjective perspective. There you go. Yeah. I'm sorry, sir. But I really appreciate you give me some good ideas, and we had a good talk here. This has been a good one. Because I didn't know, I was really hoping I was going to have some people joining me here. And Jake,
you just call me Dirk, though, Jay.
Dirk, okay. And Jake, thank you for joining me. And but yeah, if you haven't friended me, SPC, and do that, and I'll send you the links to my last 2 short films, so you can watch them that way. And you too, Jake, if you wanted to.
Please.
I put the link up on the Dead Pit side a few times, but I never heard from anyone that actually had seen any of them. So.
Okay. I'll check them out, review them, and tell you what I think.
But no, this has been a good one. I've enjoyed this, and y'all have and happy Halloween to you guys and to everyone that's watching here. And let me see if there's a few more comments here. It must be freezing. And Blair Hathaway says must be freezing temperatures in Texas right now. It's just above freezing. It's in the low 40s, and I think tonight it's supposed to actually freeze.
It'll be in 30s tomorrow.
Yeah, and then it's supposed to, I think, because tomorrow being Halloween, and of course you get some poor kids out there going to have to put a coat over their costume. But at least it's supposed to stop raining. It's been drizzling. It rained most of yesterday, just drizzled and nasty, and today. But I think the rain is finally going away. And tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 50s, low 50s, I think, for Halloween. So, right. and not at least not be raining. So at least the kids might have to bundle up, but at least they won't be rained on. Right. And let's see. Back for Blood says it hasn't cooled off much in South Central Louisiana, not Los Angeles.
I'm in Shreveport. So he's in South Louisiana.
Well, what is that? That's just over the border. And I went to that casino. I went with my sister and niece, and then I went with my uncle to that casino just over the border into Louisiana. It's a boat. It's in the water.
That's where we're at. That's where
you're at. And what is the name?
The Horseshoe Casino.
There you go.
Yeah, the Horseshoe. We got several casinos around here.
Well, I've been to one that's a boat. I guess does it have to be like a certain law? You have to be.
You got to be on the water.
You have to be on the water. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the loophole.
Yeah. But anyway, one of those casinos I went to, it was just over the border into Louisiana. But I've been to that casino twice. The one
we got Diamond Jacks. We got.
It might be Diamond Jacks is what I'm talking about.
We got several. We got about 5 to 7 of them. I can't remember.
Yeah. And I didn't win anything. I didn't lose anything. I walked out pretty much with what I came in with. So I had fun.
Well, that's good because there's a lot of people that are brokenhearted every day.
I would break even. I'd win just enough to kind of break even. And then, so that's pretty much what I did is I broke even. But I had fun. I enjoyed it. But and let's see. Bossier City, Back for Blood. Never mind. Bossier City.
Bossier City, really? Yeah.
Okay.
Bossier's right here by Shreveport.
Let's see. There's a few more comments here. Alyssa Milano, star of Team Wolf 3. Garrett recommended Ebola Syndrome. Watching that on Halloween.
Syndrome. Garrett loves that movie.
And let's see. got it. Alpha Romero's. I'll admit it's just a big budget art house film. I think she is talking about the Everything Everywhere All at Once. Is a art house film.
And Riverman says, not sure if y'all mentioned, but House of the Devil. It is. That's a great.
Okay,
that's another great one.
I'm gonna write that down.
That's actually my favorite Ty West film is House of the Devil.
House of the Devil.
Yep.
Yeah, one down. Definitely got some good recommendations here. And well, thank you guys. Thank you, Jake, and thank you, Subjective.
Yeah, man.
We've had a good one. This has been a good one because I was a little concerned because, like I say, the original plan for the CK was like, well, was talking about those damn Halloween movies. I think I've said everything I can say about those things. But Wes says, Jay, have you seen all of the Exorcist movies? Well, no, I haven't seen Believer. I saw those damn prequels.
Yeah.
Whenever they came out or put out, and I had no desire to watch them again. And yeah, I saw The Heretic.
Hell yeah.
That's another Snapcase DVD I've got of Exorcist 2. I've got that old Snapcase of Exorcist 2. I was thinking of maybe going ahead and watching that just to refresh my memory on how bizarrely bad that movie is.
Yeah, I've been thinking about putting that one back on. Exorcist 2. Yeah.
Just to watch it and just to watch, the tap dancing scene and just shit is like, what the fuck? What are they doing here?
James Earl Jones
and James Earl Jones and who is it? What was it? Who is it? What was the actor's name? Big famous actor.
Yeah. Damn, I can't think because Linda Blair talks about how much she loved working with him.
Yeah. But anyway, Texas says, thank you, Jay. This was great. Well, yeah. Back for Blood says, thank you. Happy Halloween. And well, you too, guys. Y'all have a happy Halloween. And hopefully we're going to finally get some sunshine here in Texas in the next few days and start warming back up again. It's supposed to be in the low 70s in a few days. So that'll be
That was Richard Burton.
Richard Burton. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's in some actually fantastic films, but and then he's in Exorcist 2, and directed by the guy that did Deliverance. So,
right.
There you go. It's got all these, really famous actors and a popular director and
a shitty story.
And yes, and that's something I've seen Linda Blair talk about. It says that what they filmed wasn't the script she was given. That's what she says. She says the script that she was given was really good, but they kept changing it and rewriting and adding things. So I don't know.
Right.
So that's the story she tells. But okay, guys, thank y'all so much for participating in this. We've had a good one. We've had a couple hours and got some good ideas here. And you guys have a great Halloween, and everyone watching here have a great Halloween, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right. Y'all take care.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Crap. How do you...